It's time for your prescription of knowledge. Welcome to the Music Doctors, where celebrity DJ Cat X and the panel of experts are dedicated to honoring the legends of hip-hop and R&B culture for those who kicked in the doors and broke down barriers. Prepare for your daily dose of culture. Here's celebrity DJ Cat X and the Music Doctors.
Hey, how everybody doing? Wherever you are at. And tonight, man, we got something real special for y'all, man. We got some brothers, man, from back in the day. If you forgot who they were, guess what? Tonight, we're going to remind you of who they are. You know what I'm saying? But before we get in all of that, in the brothers, and get into the interview, what we want to do here is go ahead and pay you a little tribute. Now I'm going to turn it over to my man that run the plan, Mr. Dr. Stone. Do what you do.
Musical Doctors. We are what podcasts should be.
Hey, Gator don't play no shit. You feel me? Gator never been about playing no shit.
Throwback fanatic.
Should be together, nothing I done?
I'm trying so hard to please you, girl. I'm trying to get inside your world. Can't you see you're all I need? Your love is all I need. That kind of love will always be special. Love me just for me, forever and ever for the rest of our lives. Love me just for me. My heart is a yearning for a love that's tender. Love me just for me, over and over again. Love me just for me. From day to day, you said we go. Time will let our feelings show. Let me in, you said to me.
That's what you said to me.
Your life became a crying shame, a search for wealth, fortune, and fame. You say I can't fulfill your needs. Love wasn't what you were looking for. Love me just for me. That kind of love will always be special. Love me just for me, forever and ever and ever. Love me just for me. My heart is yearning for a lover that's tender. Love me just for me, over and over and over and over and over. I said, baby, baby, could you care? Could you care for me every minute, every hour? Come on, come on, say you love me, baby. I'm not gonna leave, I'm not gonna go. No, 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 no.
I had a girl, but all she seemed to care about was materialistic things. I know what you mean. It wasn't like you couldn't give it to her. That's all she wanted. Well, I'll keep searching this big old world until I find my lucky star. And when I do, I'll ask her to love me just for me.
Today I saw somebody who looked just like you. She walked like you do. I thought it was you. As she turned the corner, I called out your name. I felt so ashamed that it wasn't you. Was it you? Oh, you are everything, and everything is you. Oh, you are everything, and everything is you. Oh, you are everything, and everything is
A friendship, something that you'll always value. And like a diamond, it will stand the test of time. And when you have a problem, you know I'll be there for you. Because I know you'll be there to help me out with mine. See, you told me that there's nothing that I cannot do. And when a friend's around, it makes it all the better. Oh, so I would like to say, forever and a day, you are my friend. You are my friend. You are my friend.
I miss you, baby.
Loving you is wrong. I don't wanna do anything, anything. And if needing you is bad, I can't help myself. See, sometimes I get the feeling.
baby.
I do need you, baby.
I can't help myself.
I do love you, baby.
Indeed. Welcome to the Music Doctors, Global Media Network Music Doctors, professionals engaged in the advancement of the culture and the industry. And tonight we will be honoring the legends and guests, Special Generation, who were in the building. Peace and blessings, brothers.
Yes.
See you too.
Good to be here.
Indeed. So what do you all think about that mix from our resident DJ Gator Ryan?
I liked it.
Man.
Yeah, sounds good.
Loved
Bro.
it.
Sounds good.
I was waiting for some more songs.
I was dancing
the intro was
I love
bumping.
it. Yeah.
Indeed, brothers. Well, we're glad that you appreciated it. We're humbled and again honored to have you all here spending your time and your evening with us to share your story and some of your jewels. And without any further delay, if you would please just go through and introduce yourselves, and then we'll jump right into the interview.
All right, I'll go ahead and start. I'm Kendrick Washington.
I'm Marquette Robinson.
I'm Fernando Allen Carter.
And I'm Maurice Dowdell.
Indeed. Special Generation in the building with the Music Doctors. Again, we appreciate you, brothers, for tapping in with us. My first question that I'd like to ask you all can individually answer this, but when did music become a part of your life, and how did you all come together? We'll start with you, Brother Maurice.
So, I'll answer the big one. I'm gonna let one of them answer the latter one about how we came together. So music. It just kind of, back in the day, I tell people about this in Florida. What we know as black music, R&B music. It was, AM music back in the day. We didn't have, where now they have an FM station. In fact, I guess I'm dating myself. They have all this streaming of the highest quality. What we would have was just AM, and at one moment you might get something new, but a lot of times it was Bobby Blue Bland, it was some Temps, it was something, and little Natalie Cole, and that just kind of infused in the life, because that's music from the culture of black people, and being able to enjoy music, it was a great democratizer, right? I ain't got to have as much money as anybody else to enjoy Marvin Gaye, to enjoy Stevie Wonder, to enjoy the Temps, or to enjoy other things. And so music brought us together, culturally in our neighborhoods, in the backyard barbecues, and that just kind of fed into me, and it just turns out that I have a thing for it, and not long after. I was really, really shy about it as a songwriter, and I met these guys, and just kind of came out of my shell a little bit more until what you see before us.
Yes, sir. I like that,
Brother Fernando.
Yes, sir. Man, music, man. What for me, man? My uncle had a Cradle Records, man, and from the Jackson 5, man, from the Commodores, I would sit and listen to his records, man, and in my mind, I was like, man, one day I could do this, right? So listening to my uncle's records all the time and just sitting there for hours listening to it, going through the crate, finding West Side, finding the Ohio Players, the Temptations, just everybody, man. Just listening to it, and just, I was like, you know what? I'm a young cat. I'm like, man, I said, I want to sing one day. I want, and so that's how music was introduced to me, by listening to music on the radio, also listening to, my uncle's records. And that's how music, got into me. And how I met these guys, man, it was me and my cuz, Kendrick K. Deb Washington. You know, we were in the neighborhood um, singing around, man, and in high school singing. You know, the girls loved it. We was like, you know what? Let's put a group together. Let's do this. So that's what we did. You know, we put a group together. That's how we got all these other guys in the group. You know, but that story will come later. But that's how I got music in me to do what I want to do with the guys and my brothers from St. Petersburg, Florida, man.
Yeah.
Special generation. Yeah.
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 So to piggyback off my cousin Fernando,
Yes,
man,
sir.
music for me, my uncle had his own band. So at a young age, I was always introduced and loving the sound of just our urban sound and culture, man. But music was my way to escape from the reality of where we were. You know, we didn't grow up with everything. We wasn't spoon fed. We basically had to struggle, and the music was our escape. You know, but we listened to, man, I listened to everything from Prince to Marvin Gaye to Temptations. I mean, you name it. But it was a way to escape from reality. And then we knew when we saw New Edition, we was like, okay, man, we could do this. You know, groups like 4x4, Ready for the World. We were like, man, let's focus and buckle down and put our thing together. And that's when Fernando and I decided to form the group. But yeah, always surrounded by old, like I said, Patti LaBelle, Marvin Gaye, all of that. We grew up with it in the house.
Now, can I just say something? I mean, of all the interviews we didn't have, hey, y'all tell me, I don't ever remember being asked that question. So I was kind of taken aback. I ain't never been asked that question, not that way.
Yeah.
You know
but that's what make us the doctors. That's our specialty. Asking what don't ever get asked.
Yeah. So you just know this interview is about to be a whole bunch of questions that's different than we answered before.
I love it.
Well, music with me, music started with me, church choir. Mama had me up early in the Sunday mornings. Mo too, we went to the same church. In the church choirs. I didn't really take it serious like that, but my father passed when I was 14. And before then I was always into the martial arts. Wanted to go out to Japan after I graduated from school, go out to Japan and start living a life out there in the Eagle Mountains. But when my father was dying, he told me to take care of my mom and sisters, and I knew that I couldn't take care of them if I leave and go do that. So I did a 360 and changed up everything, and met my guys. When I met my guys, it was maybe a year later. And so I got a little bit of trouble before then, but it was a year later, and got with the group, and then that was it. You know, they had a lot of, strict things that I didn't have in my life anymore because my dad was gone, so yeah, music came into my life then, right? Well, I had always been singing, but I'd never taken it serious, And then once we started the group, I was like, well, I got some fellas that I can kind of see the direction that they're going. I say, well, let me hop on the train. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it came from. They inspired me.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Man. Yes, sir.
Indeed. So my next question is, did you have something else you wanted to say, Brother Maurice?
Well, we Southern, but there's a part of me that identifies with East Coast, right? And so, hip hop kind of came out of the East Coast. And what people don't understand about, a lot of people, I say, it's people understand now, but there's a big movement. I heard KORS1 talk about this as well, but he was talking about how hip hop is really a culture, right? And so when you ask this question, I really started to ponder. I'm like, man, because back in the day, the currency of the culture is comparable to how hip hop is the currency of the culture now. R&B, singing on the street corner, because you know what I'm saying, we may not by and large had a whole lot of money, but you didn't need a whole lot of money to go. She must be a special lady and a very, you know what I'm saying? You ain't need to do what, you know what I'm saying? You ain't need that. And all of a sudden, the currency of what we have is in our culture, it became the currency of, I mean, even more so now. Y'all know what I'm talking about, how R&B music became what pop music is today. But that started at these little, hey, you know what? You know, we just doo-wopping and, you know, with the afros and the bell bottoms and, you know, learning how to do some moves. I mean, that's it's just, it's blowing my, Dr. Stone, you got me, bro. Y'all got me because I'm really thinking about it. It's like, the currency, music is the current, in a sense, it's the currency of the culture, the way that hip hop is the currency of the urban culture right now. That is really, because back in the day, it was jazz, right? And so Louis Armstrong and in them little speakeasies and in them little, you know, back in the day, and you know, the currency was, look, I can't do much. I may not be able to go to college, but I can pick up a horn and I can put a mute on it and I can, right? You know what I'm saying? So
Right. That's how it was.
It's the currency of the culture, man. It's crazy. Wow, that's a great question. All right,
indeed, brothers, indeed. Thank you for sharing your perspective. Along with the topic of the culture, my next question, and you can start answering this, or y'all can answer in the same orders, or however you feel free to do so, is with the technological advances in the music industry, streaming, Spotify platforms, and direct to cell phones. What are your thoughts on the industry and your takes on the advances and where the music industry and culture is right now? It could be genre specific or just music abroad. Just what are your thoughts on what's going on?
Kendrick, K-Dub, answer that, baby.
Oh, definitely.
I know you know.
Man.
He like, I just got through talking. Come on, y'all help me out.
No, man. I mean, you know, streaming. If you're an artist of today, you have to change with the times. I like the fact that now we have the freedom to release stuff from my bedroom or living room and have the chance to express myself. So we're now in an era where everybody's creative, and I love that. I mean, when we started out, you know, there wasn't internet, there wasn't, you know, apps. I mean, we basically had to travel city to city to promote, you know, our songs. So I mean, I love the freedom that now I'm the so-called producer at home and also the vocalist, and I can present a lot of my music, man, right away. But yeah, from that aspect, I think it's absolutely wonderful. And it actually puts you in the position now to sell to the consumer. See, now I can cut out the middleman and go direct and know who my fans are, you know, right away, other than all the things that we've had to go through.
So I hear you.
I like it because we've actually watched music grow. We've actually watched it from cassette tapes to DAT tapes to, you know, we've watched it grow, and then we watched the music change. Everything goes in a circle. But this is a bigger circle this time because the newer sounds and the newer, because back then we had samples, we would take samples from horns and things like that. But now these kids these days are sampling music from our era. And so once again, it's still going in a circle, but at the same time, it's different. I think it's going to continue to grow with us or without us. You know, it keeps moving. But I think it's going for more of the positive, because these days you don't see too much gangster stuff in the hip hop realm, because now they thinking about selling records. You know what I'm saying? Once you think about streams rather, and when you talk about streams, you're talking about a different perspective of it. So you gotta kind of gotta be with the time as well. Like us, we have to be with the times. Like we had auto tunes on that last record. I Can't Help Myself. We didn't want to use it because we can sing, but we had to use it because it's familiar with the music out there today. So you have to stay familiar with everything as well. You can't just be left field and not think about what's going on in the right field. You know, you're all on the same team. So yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, so the thing about the way things are, man, there's so much to be said about um, where music is now. I mean, because the tools have become so accessible to be able to make quality music. I mean, it's really low hanging fruit. I mean, I could really expound on that, but there are. I mean, you can download something to your phone and do stuff. It's crazy. Um, uh, but it could be, it's what the challenge is for the artist to not be beguiled by, a desire to make money and sacrifice the artistry. That's why I love when I hear certain people that, I don't listen to a lot of new music, because some of it's so good I just kind of absorb in what's being there. And for a person like me who's like that, I am, I think they call it information bias, where you are informed by what you like instead of being, I find out my kids or my brothers, like, they'll tell me, like, Ken told me about Moonchild. Moonchild was one of the, just kind of amazing, just wow, just blew my mind. But anyway, the access to so much different music, it could be challenging for the artists right now, because if your goal is to try to get a record deal, you got to build up your own following. You got to carry a lot of the weight, right? And you might not, it's a challenge to not compromise the artistry. So I try to encourage them, look, do it because you love it. And if it's good,
Yeah.
the music, the following will come. But if you do everything, it's always about compromising, to try to make the dollar. It might be longer, and the end goal might not be so good for you.
Yeah.
Right, because Lord knows we paid our dues.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh boy. Oh boy.
Now, and paying dues, and I'm just reflecting off his question, different between then and now. Do you guys think that it was better then, it's easier now? Because back that's one thing I've noticed when the artists talk about this, you still have to put in the fact when you're doing it yourself, you don't have that big promo behind you. So if you're not equipped to be able to hang with how the millennials are doing it, don't you feel kind of still behind?
Oh, you're gonna fall off real fast. No matter how good the music is, if you're not up to what the music is, what they're doing in the industry now, you're just gonna fall off. The music is good, but I mean, just with with Instagram and which you got to promote your own stuff, or you get somebody to promote. You'll fall off if it's not that machine behind you, because we know what it is to have a machine behind you and push you and have your posters in these mom and pop stores, and you go to in stores and I know I'm signing. It's like what is in stores? What are you talking about? You to go in and you sign autographs, you sign your posters, and you sign your little headshots or whatever. That type of stuff was work for us, promoting our music. Going out and doing it instead of pushing a button and saying, "Okay, here you go, world." We had to actually go out on the Chitlin tour, the Chitlin. You know what I mean? The Chitlin circuit. And really get down and dirty in there and just do it. You know what I mean? And show up, and do it. You know what I mean? Not like now. It's very different from now, how we used to do it. Now you have to sell tickets if you want to be on the show. I'm like, I couldn't understand that concept. I'm like, why am I selling my own tickets to be on the show, right? Because we didn't do it back then. Promoters and they sold the tickets. We showed up, we got paid, we went to the next city, right? Now you got to go to the mall, you got to go to the barbecue spot. I got 5 tickets if y'all want to come to the show. We be performing tonight. You got to do it yourself now. So it's kind of reversed, So I mean, it's different now than it was then. So to say it's easier or hard, I don't know. It's different.
Right. But see, that's the only thing I'm trying to get is your perspective, because everybody has a different perspective of what has to be done and how it has to be done. Some say it's easier, some say it's harder, some say it's out of whack. But what I tell a person, the best thing to do, especially if you're from, the genre. I'm from the genre y'all on. When I say I'm from the genre y'all on, just like I told Jeff when he came up with y'all, at first I didn't know when he said special generation, it didn't click right then. Till I heard the song and I was like, oh snap, yeah, then my boy. Cause see, I worked y'all project because I did all Hammer stuff.
Oh, love it.
I worked 357, all them. I worked everything. It's nothing that didn't come through the Carolinas from LA to New York and all that. I hadn't worked. I was like the connection here. It's always a person that's ahead, and I was that guy to break the record, early and everything. I just didn't get all the way up to y'all. I did the rest of the groups. I did him. I did 357. I did all of them. It just didn't get all the way down the line to get to y'all. Because I was the guy that bring you down, bring you to the show, and the big shows that we have. If I can get the guys on, I'll get whoever fit the bill. I'll make sure I get them on the bill.
Got you.
And can I add to that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
Overall, I miss the relationship. Building relationships in the music business is so key and important. Being behind a computer or phone, we lose so much. Just a personal relationship and understanding why I did this song. There was a time when we would go visit program directors and we basically tell them, what strong records we feel about it, how we feel about the releases that we have, and kind of give people a feel of where we're coming from, our moment and who we are as a group. But we miss the relationship, building those relationships. And I think a lot of music is missing a lot of that.
You are exactly right, because it's not like getting face to face. I mean, I'm like you, not knowing the person. I mean, it used to be, even with me here, and I'm dealing with, the record companies and all that. We have those meetings on the phone, but then it was always a time where they was coming down here with me to do an event so we could see each other, or I'm going up there to do a big conference. Look, we want everybody in the room. We talk about how we're going to break this record, because different artists with different, some artists wanted to actually meet the team, so they would have to call everybody from everywhere. Everybody had to come over there, so everybody got a clear understanding on how we gonna promote this group, this person as a whole, versus you just individually going out there doing your own thing.
I love it.
Indeed. Celebrity DJ Cadex, did you have one more question, or are you gonna pass it?
Oh no, I'm about to pass it. I just wanted to understand, like, what are you guys, doing now? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of artists, until the 50 of hip hop came back, they were dormant and whatever, and they felt like they were old dinosaurs and they wasn't, getting no more work, because we've had a few other people, on here. We had Surface on here. Surface still, doing things. So we just wonder, are you guys doing anything, or are you trying to get back in the groove?
Kendrick?
Wait. We're ready. We are actually preparing our show to get ready to go back out there and do some stuff.
Exactly.
Just excited about, like I said, showing our passion. And regardless whether the music or trends change, we're still going to represent who we are and all the work that we did in the past. We're so in the studio too. We have a few like solo releases that we would love to share with the public, but we are
just released one.
Staying active.
Mo just released one, Magnify. It's a great record.
Yes.
I think it's been 10 days. I released a song about 10 days ago. Let's be real, raising kids, married, making a home for our lives, and, paying mortgages, your priorities have to be balanced, right? I can't go out and do what I was doing when I was 25, 22 years old. But because of the passion, it's just what Ken said, the passion and the love for this, right? And now for me, coupled with the love of the Lord, I'm living a life godly, I'm living a life well pleasing unto the Lord. That's something that I want to express. So now this vehicle that, yes, at one time, and I still sing about love. I'm married. I love my wife. I love my children. But now it has expanded out to, a love of God and living a life for God. And so that is another way of me expressing my passion musically. And so I just released something about 10 days ago, and it's doing pretty well. It's out there on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. I love it. So what I want to do here to make sure that my other doctors get a piece of the pie, Let me go ahead and let my man, Mr. Dr. Dick James, get on the
Let's
thing.
go. Let's go.
You muted, brother. You muted.
How's everybody doing?
All right, how you doing?
Blessed.
Awesome. Thank you for asking.
There
Excellent.
you go.
Great to have you guys here.
Thank you.
Hey man, you guys are it's nice. It's like what 34 years.
Yep.
You guys are classic. And I myself, like my big brother Cat said, I kind of keep it honest because back in the day, and your music was coming around. I was a young jit, so I did a lot of promotions and marketing when it came to you. I guess Capital dropped the ball when it came to you guys.
Yeah.
But man, Hammer had a lot of hit records.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But he didn't have no records like the records that you guys.
Exactly.
Like, have you seen
No,
it?
that's a real
Like one
compliment,
of
man.
my
Thank you.
favorite Hammer records of all time because of crossover. I
That was his
knew Hammer was
first record to
gangster
go
back
gold.
Hey,
Yeah,
and you mentioned that Hammer album. See, that's where this came from. Right here. All the hard work on that album right there. You can't touch this. Help the children. Have you seen it? Bam. I just had to just flash it a little bit
No
because
sleep.
that right there was that album with MC Hammer and Special Generation coming together.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good way
you
to say it.
guys should have been able to. You guys should have been able to get that ball and run with it because, like I said, because of you guys appearing on records like that with Hammer, that gave Hammer over appeal. Because, like I said, I knew Hammer was gangster before a lot of the world knew.
Yeah.
But that Have You Seen Her, Help It, and the other record, man, it's
Help the
like, come on,
children.
man. You guys should be praised for.
I
Now
appreciate
that we've
that,
had the opportunity to do our research and we actually see you guys face to face, the energy is incredible. Don't keep
Thank
it
you so
brief because we got our beautiful comrade that just came on here, Dr. Tracy. And I
How you
want her
doing,
to have
Tracy?
her piece.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
Did you just pass it to me?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Piece.
did?
I mean, I don't know how much horn tooting I can do. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that I got that reminder because some things they do fall to the backside because we're distracted by so many different that are going along around us.
That's right.
Life.
I myself, I like to keep up with the past, the present, and what's going to be in the future. So if I wasn't a part of the music doctors, I would have been those people that you guys would have to wake up. I was asleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being here is a reality check.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that, man.
Yeah.
But real quick to piggyback off that, man, those records came at a time when I don't think Hammer was even ready to. He didn't really know what he had when he got with us. So when we did those records and put some of our butter sauce, our smooth vocals on them songs, he was blown away. He was blown away, and immediately FM radio started just. They didn't know which single to pick. They loved the sound. It was something new. We got to thank Felton Pilot, James Early, and cats that we recorded all of those songs on a tour bus.
Sure did.
Studio bus.
So imagine that, a studio bus. There you go, studio bus, man. And
we did Have You
Go
Seen
ahead,
Her in Hampton, Virginia. I said we did Have You Seen Her in Hampton, Virginia. That was Hammer's first record that went gold. Yeah, that was his first gold record. And they were asking for, then radio started asking for, you can't touch this, but Hammer said, no, I'm gonna give them Dancing Machine. We did that Dancing Machine too. And see, that goes back to what Reese said, what kind of music we were listening to down here. We knew most of these songs already. And so that night that we even met Hammer, we sang most of these songs throughout the night. We just back to back. Yeah. And then that's when he brought up the Help the Children with Will You Let Them Be. which was Marvin Gaye's record.
Yeah.
And so we sung so many of these things for him already. It's just the chemistry. It happened all at once. It's like it was a long time planning it, but when we got together, it just back to back, back to back.
Yeah. I mean, and that should be spoken to.
Quick.
I mean, we're oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Real quick, because on the Music Doctors, like Kat said, we a lot of things that you probably don't get asked prior to coming on. So before we go to Dr. Tracy, I want to throw this because this is what I'm seeing from what you created. You guys set a trend with MC Hammer. Now, labels and groups that were able to come along type of collaborative style, but I tell you who did. A page from you guys' book and ran with it. Master P did that with them boys from out there in Calabasas. What's the name of our guys? Cat?
Oh, Sons of Funk.
Sons of Funk, exactly.
Oh wow.
They guys, Master P, very intelligent. He got that from you guys. You guys sound out there in the West Coast, and you know him and Hammer. Those are open Bay area.
Yeah.
You guys were very true on that sound that they came up with, man.
And a lot of people don't realize that they weren't playing a lot of hip hop back then on the radio. Besides Run DMC with Walk This Way, they weren't playing a lot of that. But Hammer broke down doors. We broke down doors with Hammer because we made it acceptable, to get played on the pop stations. So we're responsible for a lot of these guys coming after us, getting on the radio and getting their stuff played on the FM stations now, the power stations, the P1s, because like I said, before then, nobody was playing it. You had to go and listen to a pirate station or something like that to get the latest hip hop. But nowadays, when it comes out, it goes to radio. So we broke down a lot of doors for these newer artists these days.
Yeah.
Now the one thing that was great about y'all area, y'all had Mr. Rusher the Flusher, because Luke was the first cat that I know that had the whole bootleg station. He would get all the records played because I was down with that whole movement and the records here. If you're trying to get it pushed, hey, send it over here. I don't care what they say, because Luke wasn't even a radio fan. His thing was all about the sales. He said, I don't care nothing about their radio. I ain't coming for radio. He said, I came in for the sales. Let's get it while it's hot.
Bam.
Yeah. That's right, man.
Uncle Luke. Yeah, he did it big. From the he had 2 Live Crew. He had so many, and like you said though, he was getting plays. He didn't care about spins like far as P1s and P2 stations. He just in itself. He had who else he had? He had 2 Live Crew.
H-Town.
Yep. And just to have that kind of power, I think we all kind of take a little bit of something from the one before us. P got a little bit from say Ham, and Ham got a little bit from Jay Prince, and Jay Prince got a little bit from this person. So I think we all kind of learn off of one another, without exposing the whole side to everything, because we all go through our own things with the labels. We all know that. Yeah. But I think we all kind of bite a little bit from each other, to on the game, on how to get in here and stay in here. That's the key.
Yeah.
It's easy. Yeah. It's easy to get in. It's hard to stay in. And you got to come up
but see, just like Dr. James said, y'all ain't even realizing. Just like you said, when Luke did that, it's like you said, everybody was looking at everybody. Like the whole H-Town thing, I'll argue with anybody because I worked the projects. They got that straight from Jodeci. I don't care what nobody say. That's this argument, or vice versa, depending on who came out.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, you can tell. Yeah. I on the group thing, cause like the early 90s, the group thing. I remember we were in Dallas. We were performing. It was Hammer. It was the Boys. Somebody else, but we were in the sound booth at the Cotton Bowl, and they flew in our new single, It was actually our new single, and they remixed it, and it was playing, and people was just digging it in the audience, right? And Keith Sweat was up there with us, and so he was like, "Man, I love this record." So he said, "You know what? I'm gonna get a group, man. I'm gonna get me a 5-man group, and y'all know who that 5-man group is, right?
Remember
Yep.
that. I remember that.
Silk.
Yep. He said, "I'm gonna get a 5-man group. I love y'all, man. I'm gonna get a 5." And that's how Silk came about. But nobody don't know that story. But Keith Sweat was right on there with us, listening to our record. He said, "Man, I love this 5-man group thing." Silk, man, was born.
And see, those things what you just said on there is what this whole this simulcast, I'll never get it right, Slake. Whatever. But anyway, it's what you saying, stuff like that to hear from the beginning, you know what I'm saying, of before it was what it was. Like I said, nobody don't know this until we put it out. So now, and it's gonna make people go back and look it up and then look at it and compare and that did come from there.
I'll give you a little gem too. Here's a little gem too. We were at the BRE in Atlanta one year, and Michael Bivens is a good friend of mine. He asked me to look out for his guys when we got down there. His guys, they were just making an album, and so he said they'd be wearing some hoodies next to the elevator. They said they're gonna meet you right there. I said okay. So we get in the hotel. I grabbed the guys, bring them up to the rooms. That night we took them to all the little parties, MCA party, Motown party, Busted party. Had fun with them. They let us listen to the whole album. Maybe about 2 weeks later, Motown Philly came out and it took off. And we, everywhere we saw the boys from there on, we was always cool because it's about being humble in the same situation. You know what I'm saying? You have to be humble and you have to appreciate the talents that come around you as well as them appreciate your talent. So we've always been good friends with them. Like I said, we took them around. I took Tevin the Camel around that night. I took Shanice around that night. I took so many people, but that's what kind of guys we were, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that made us approachable from different people. They could always come to us and talk to us and about different things. And we love to sing. So hey, we'll sing it at the drop of a dime.
See, you just bringing up everything that I worked and what I did. So I did do Wanye stuff when Wanye, I was with them when they was doing that, doing the in-stores and all that. But then when Wanye branched off and did his whole thing, I ran that whole project. He had like 3 groups that he had. I was, running around and doing them. He was like, "Man, you done picked up everything from everybody you done work with." I said, "That's an advantage point for you because I can take a little bit from here, a little bit from there, a little bit from here, and bring that right on." Wanye was a good guy to work with. And I'm going to tell y'all something real weird about Wanye. I did never understand, but it was an advantage to me. Wanye used to buy shoes. He would only wear the shoes one time. You know why I'll say it's an advantage for me? Because we wore the same size.
Oh, wow.
I love give him up one year. Oh, man.
But Tracy, we ain't going to hold it. Let me let that pretty face say something over there.
Yes.
Good evening.
Yes, Tracy.
Good evening.
How y'all doing? Sorry, I'm always late. So, that's what happens. I just, I don't want to, be repetitive or anything. You guys have clearly spoke a lot about your career and your business and everything like that. And, I was amazed to see how many people, they say like reflection is bounced off the real light. So you guys seem to have been the real light, you know what I mean? That everybody kind of bounced off of. So, so it's very, it's very refreshing to hear that you guys had a very non-competitive sense when it came to other artists and was able to like pay it forward. What you had, you paid for it. You shared. You watched everybody shine off of some of your light, and I think that's really amazing. And it really doesn't happen a lot.
No,
you know what I mean. So I was just kind of paying attention to that and how genuine you guys are, as far as being non-competitive. And I'm sure in that time, of course, in that time, I was there too, that, it was highly competitive with, the groups. and stuff. The male groups coming along. There was one coming here, one coming there, but it's very refreshing to hear that you guys had a big part of a lot of those groups developing. So my question to you guys is, what was, I mean, you can answer it together or separately. What was your big breakthrough moment where you just kind of felt like, yo, you know, this is it. We were here. We have done something. We have paid it for it. You know, that whole feeling of almost like euphoria from, you know, your career aspect and what you shared and what you brought into the music business.
You know, I would say we did a Bob Hope special for Oprah Winfrey. And that in itself, you know, we grew up Bob Hope, over there with the troops and everything like that. So just to be in his presence, because he was behind the curtain and we were singing a cappella, just warming up and everything. He came from behind the curtain and he said, "Wow, you guys sound amazing," and shook our hands and everything. James Earl Jones was there, Whoopi Goldberg. There's so many people we met that night. We was like, wow, and they all just watched us perform, and we got off. That was like the pinnacle of it. That was a beautiful thing. I think that was one of the highest that I could say, you know, in meeting James Earl Jones and just meeting everybody. Vanessa Williams, they told us that we had to stay in the hotels because they didn't want Oprah to know that we were there, because if she saw us there, then she'd know something was up. So we like, wow, these are 5 guys from Florida, you know, but if Oprah see them, she'll know something's up because we're out in Palm Springs, I think it was. Yeah, so that was pretty big. That was pretty big for us.
That Bob Hope special. You're right. Yes. Yep. Brings back memories.
But you left out the funny part. How did we get there?
Oh,
that was so funny on that plane.
Oh,
please explain that.
Some of that plane.
What's the story?
Oh man.
Look at all their faces because they know there's a story. What's the story?
Look, we got on a plane. I've never been on a plane like this since. Where the pilot had to spin the propeller, right? It was a Cessna. It was a Cessna, a 7-seater. So it was just us, security, management, and the pilot. You know, the whole time. And we dropping 20, 30 feet, like, and turbulence hitting air pockets, dropping. And I'm like, man, if we get there, we're gonna get there. But if we get there, that's it. I'm not never getting on one of these planes again.
How much praying was going on?
A whole bunch of it.
Did you kiss the ground once you landed? Did you kiss the ground?
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And it was worth it. You know, like I said, being on the Bob Hope special, it was worth it.
Yes.
Yeah. It was worth it.
Yeah. All right, let me throw my little two cents in. I'm gonna name 3, okay? So the first one was, so we came on tour. We toured with him after he said he was going to sign us, and we land in Oakland Airport, and you know, first they put us in a limousine and they're taking us to the hotel, and as you come from the hotel, you cross what you know, I thought it might have been the Golden Gate Bridge, but it was the Bay Bridge, and all of us are riding in this limousine, the 5 of us. And we're crossing the skyline. It was probably like 9 o'clock at night. And we had landed in California on our way to begin our careers as professional musicians signed to a label. That was one of the big ones. That it was just extraordinary. The second one was something, because they elevate. The second one was on our album, we have a song called Another Place. And we were preparing to go on the big tour, the Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him tour. And so when we did that, we went and trained and practiced and rehearsed for the tour at Paisley Park Studios, Prince's Studios.
Yes.
And we had recorded the whole album except for how many was it? It was 3 or 4 tracks we needed to record.
That we did there. Yeah.
That we did there. And so we got to record one of our songs. And if you hear the song Another Place, it has this, it just has this kind of element that it makes you feel like when you think of Prince and how the kind of music that he makes that is kind of at another level. Mm-hmm. Here we are singing our representation of our Another Level song in Prince Studio, Paisley Park, recording, and it was like wow. Okay, it was like wow. So that's number 2. Here's number 3, and this is the last one. So there is what's called the one-hit wonder curse, right? You know, the artists that you know, you have a song. We had Love Me Just we went from number 6. You know, Spark of Love went number 23. We had all of this hoopla, everybody saying all this stuff about, you know, how good we are. However, you never know what the record label is going to do when it comes to your phase 2. So at phase 2 record level, this is why like I got so much love for him and even for Capitol, but just for what they tried to do for us, because for phase 2 they said we're taking you to another level. They got us with they put us with Levert, some people who were our idols. They put us with Gerald and the Levert team to produce 4 songs, and them songs were spectacular. The Right One, I Won't Give Up.
Who makes a choice?
Who makes the choice? Yeah.
I mean, Eddie Levert, the legend. You want to talk about legends? The legend,
was in the studio.
People all over the world join in. The legend wrote Who Makes the Choice,
for us.
For us. Came in the studio, okay? Then he said, okay, I'm going to put y'all with one of the most cutting edge. We didn't even know it at the time, but we were just friends, and that was Steve Russell for Truth. And Steve wrote these
amazing records.
I mean, You Can Tie Me Down, Butterflies, You Run Away. I mean, just at another level. And so when the body of work, 13 songs was done, we sat back and was like, oh my God. And so
the growth.
Feel how you feel about your work.
Yeah.
But then when Billboard all over the nation, the radio stations was fighting with one another. You know, CADX, you know what I'm talking about, because coordination is a big part to having successful release. And so one part of the country is saying, no, we want to release The Right One first. And another part of the country is saying, no, we want to release Butterflies first. And another part was saying, well, no, we want to release Lift Your Head Up and Smile.
Head and Smile.
So much uproar over the quality of work that we had done. It's like, remember, going back to that passion, going back to why we do this, it's like, that's when it was like we've arrived. It's not just that we, you know, I mean, tooting the horn. We're not just handsome. We're not just, it ain't just a gimmick. We ain't just Hammer's background singers, but now Hammer been gone for years now doing his own thing, got new background singers, and we stand alone, created this body of work that still to this day is coveted. Still to this day.
Amazing.
Still to this day. And so those three. Yeah,
I love that, Reese. I would say real quickly, because Reese, you said you summed it up. I knew we made it when I saw the curtains of Arsenio Hall rise before us.
Come on, man.
When we get ready to do Have You Seen Her? Arsenio Hall, we were on there, I think, twice or 3 times. When you can pick up that phone and call your mom and say, did you see it? And she said, yes, baby, I saw it. That feeling alone was the passion that I needed.
Arsenio.
The journey, our journey is what I embrace and love. It's not about a record label. It's not about how many units we sold, because we didn't know how our records sold. We didn't know how many our records sold.
You're right.
We were 5 brothers on the road doing what we love.
That's right. Shout out Charlie.
Yeah, and Charlie. Oh my God, Charlie. Yes. We were 5 brothers that paid our dues and doing what we love. And for that moment, we made it. Because if I can look to my left, my right shoulder, and my brother's smiling on stage and he does his spin,
come on now.
I made it. Because I always said this real quick. We started out in St. Petersburg, Florida, in my garage.
Yeah.
All we had was knee-high sodas and honey bombs, starving some days.
That's it, baby. That's it.
We was in there rehearsing.
Breakfast and dinner.
And I said, no matter what stage we get on, we still in the garage.
That's right.
We still in the garage.
Yeah.
And we always took to that, man. We prayed together, and we always said we can't let nothing come in between our brotherhood. Let's just keep doing it. Let's keep doing it. And that's when I knew. But Arsenio Hall was like, for me, because I grew up watching Arsenio. So yeah.
For me, wow. I mean, in New York City, man, in the green room, seeing Bobby Brown, seeing White Snake, seeing all these different artists, man, at the Grammys, you know, bumping elbows with all these people at the Grammys, man. It's like, I was like, wow. You know, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the other guys was feeling the same way I was, man, but it was amazing just being in New York City, man, for the 33rd Grammy Awards, man. And like I said, I showed y'all already, but that, when I saw, when I was back there with my guys, man, we was in the green room and about to go on stage, because, you know, we opened that thing up. So, you know, and when you open the Grammys, it's a big deal. So I was like, you know what? We here, you know, so that was my moment that I was like, man, we here. I got a few more, but, you know, but that one right there was it for me. Yeah.
Nice. So if you guys, this is funny. If you guys had not gone into the music business, what would you all have been doing?
Oh my goodness. If I was going to start with me, it's crazy because all the other guys in the group are 6 feet, right? I'm not, okay? But I was very good at football. I probably would have been playing football somewhere, you know, because I was very good, fast, everything. I could do all. I was good. So I would probably be a football player if I didn't get into the singing thing.
Running back.
Yeah. I'm actually corner and corner and wide receiver. Yeah.
Wide receiver. Okay.
Yeah.
He's good, cuz.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you guys? Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, I'll speak real quick.
Good.
For me, I wanted to be an engineer drafter. I had a thing for drawing and just creating homes and stuff. So I wanted to be, you know, the engineer drafter and blueprints and create properties and stuff like that. So real estate. Yeah. My family has a history of real estate and selling real estate. So
nice.
Me, I would have been a writer.
You would have been a writer?
Yeah, I can see that.
Would have been a writer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
For music or just a writer overall, like books?
Overall.
Kind of over. So initially, I thought I wanted to do journalism, but then it turns out that I'm more prose, right? So in fact, I did get to write for a magazine for a while, and so it's just that kind of thing. Whatever where I can kind of be able. I think now I consider myself more a psalmist, and it feels like that's more my medium. I'm a songwriter, right? But I can't write any of those kinds.
Yeah.
Right. Love it. So I want to keep hearing.
I would have been I'd have been a ninja. Because I told you I was on that way. I was on that way until my father passed. I would have been doing that. But when my father passed, I had no direction after that. So I got a lot of that direction from my brothers. Yeah.
Hey, that's a good thing. It's beautiful, wonderful. So what I want to do right here, I want to go ahead and because like I said, we said in the beginning, that's why we had y'all come in early and we had that conversation. We got to deal with the time restraints. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it back over to my main man on the microphone, the realest I know, Mr. X Stone.
Indeed, brothers. We want to thank you all for sharing the jewels, sharing your time and stories with us tonight. Before we end this session with you all, brothers, let us know, or let the fans or the viewers know where they can find you online and what you have in store. And then once you all share that with us, what we'll do is we'll end the show with Just For Me, and then that'll be it.
Got you.
Love it. Gotta play the hit 3 times. Play the hit 3 times.
You got to.
Okay.
Right.
Start us off quick.
Just for me. Yeah, man, you got
it now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Start us off quick.
Here all alone. Still got it. Well, you can find me at Marquette_Special Generation on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
Fernando?
For myself, man, I'm on IG, Fernando.Allen. And I want to send a shout out to Nia Long for being in our video.
Lord.
On the boat. So I just want to send a shout out to her.
Hey, what's up,
y'all?
Nia?
Hey, y'all didn't forget about Nia Long being in the video, right?
Oh,
yeah. So I just wanted to just say that.
So you can find me. I think my handle in Instagram is Mo_Jesus. Mo love Jesus. I think that's what it is. Mo_LUV_Jesus.
And tell them where you can find your record, Reese.
Oh yeah, and then gosh, YouTube. Just look up Maurice, and then lowercase, and then Magnify. Just Magnify. That's the latest one.
Lovely,
Thank you,
lovely. All right, so you can reach the group at Special Generation for Life on Instagram, and our website is specialgenerationmusic.com, and then my handle for Instagram is Soul of Kendrick. Yep.
Indeed, brothers. Well, again, we definitely appreciate you, and we're honored to be able to honor you all with our gifts and our little bit of tools that we have to do it through this medium in 2024 and hear your stories again. That's all I have to say. Any of my doctors, y'all have anything to say before we wrap up?
Hey man, let's keep it up, man. And me and Jeff got some surprises for y'all. Like I told y'all, I have a lot to do with a lot of shows and tours, and I got some things we putting back out. I got some old school shows, and I've already inquired about y'all, just so you know.
Let's go. Let's go.
Matter of fact, I specifically asked because I done my research. I've asked about y'all and Troop, and I'm putting that together.
Okay.
There you go, right there.
Good.
That's our
good.
boys.
We just want to say we appreciate you guys for the work the hard work that you guys do as well, because if it wasn't for you guys, you guys keep, us from back in the 90s, y'all keep us relevant, y'all keep us in the present. So we just want to say we appreciate that, man, to each and every one of you.
So much. Yeah.
I just want to say
we're
thank
honored.
you.
You're welcome.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Hey, we're honored to, very deserving, and you should be celebrated. It was a pleasant interview today. One of my favorites. I'll say that.
Appreciate
you
you.
guys. Bless 2024, and I look forward to doing you along with my partners, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
We'll see y'all soon.
Absolutely. God bless.
God bless.
So hard to please you, girl. I'm trying to get inside your world. Can't you see you're all I need? Your love is all I need. That kind of love will always be special. Love me just for me, forever and ever for the rest of our lives. Love me just for me. My heart is a yearning for a love that's tender. Love me just for me. Over and over again. Love me just for me. For me today, you said we go. Time will let our feelings show. Let me in, you said to me. That's what you said to me. Your life became a crying shame, a search for wealth, fortune, and fame. You say I can't fulfill your needs. Love wasn't what you were looking for. Love me just for me. That kind of love will always be special. Love me just for me, forever and ever and ever. Love me just for me. My heart is yearning for a lover that's tender. Love me just for me.
but all she seemed to care about was materialistic things. I know what you mean. It wasn't like you couldn't give it to her, but that's all she wanted. Well, I'll keep searching this big old world until I find my lucky star. And when I do, I'll ask her to love me just for me.